everyone, it's me, Speed Force Master. I am making my very first video, and it's going to be me explaining who the main villains could be for The Flash Season 7. Now, for some reason, this is my first video. Pretty weird doing this. But, I decided to make it because I'm bored. Well, that's not the point. Let's dig into this. Well, we know that one of them would have to be Godspeed. And the reason why would be because first he showed up in Season 6 as a copycat, but then later on, when he came back to antagonize Team Flash, it was revealed that that one was August Hart, only it wasn't the real one. He was sent by the real Godspeed, who wanted infinite velocity. So that obviously gives it away that since it wasn't the real Godspeed, the real one sent him, and he would have to be the villain. There are a lot of weird theories out there of him being Eddie Thawne. I never really got it. Maybe Crisis could retcon his death, but I don't know if that would do so. Well, we'll find out, but for now, it's safe to assume that it's August Hart because, well, I mean, they could have just been robotic clones of him. If they just want to trick us, that would be pretty good. I mean, good plot twist and all. So, who would be the other one? Well, we were confirmed to get a Reverse Flash cliffhanger. We were supposed to get one at the end of last season until it got cut short, so now we're getting it at the end of Season 7, Episode 3. Now he needs a new host after he couldn't take over Nash. And who would that host be? Well, in my opinion, it should be Bloodwork. And the reason why is because he was playing the long game. He had the chance to escape, but he didn't. So then, I think it would be really cool if, once Thawne finds him, he'd take over his body, and then Bloodwork won't be able to take it anymore, when Thawne would keep telling Ramsey that it's all his fault for not saving his mom, and then causing him to break, and then giving Thawne the ability to take over his body and become a new villain called Red Death. Now, hang on. For those of you who don't know, Red Death is, he's a Flash villain. Well, kind of. He's technically from a Batman story where he's an evil Batman from place called the Dark Multiverse took over the Flash's body. He has a red suit, red eyes, and he'd have to have a demonic voice for sure. And Reverse Flash has that. Well, the eyes and the lightning. Bloodwork, with his abilities, it would be all gnarly looking and be a lot like it. And obviously, I mean, they're both fusions, as in both versions of Red Death. That being the one from the comics and the one who is most likely to exist. I wouldn't even be surprised either, because in season 3, I don't mean to bring up old stuff about it, but once I explain more of Red Death, you'll understand. Pretty much when Abracadabra, someone from the future, came to the present, he knew who Savitar was, and before he was executed, Barry asked him one last time who Savitar was, and he brought up Thawne and Zoom, who were previous main villains, and was talking about how much of great threats they were, and then brought up DeVoe, and said none of them hurt him like Savitar. And then Savitar brought up DeVoe again, and then DeVoe turned out to be the Thinker, main villain for Season 4. Resumed Season 5. Cicada was mentioned, well, he was talked about when Barry and Iris went into Nora's memories. And Nora, for those of you who don't know, and I don't mean to spoil and ruin it for you, but she's their daughter from the future. She was at the Flash Museum, Hall of Villains. She was watching a video of Cicada, how many people he killed, and then brought up Zoom, who, obviously, if you've watched the show, you'll know he's a serial killer, and then brought up someone called Red Death. In Red Death, he is very deadly in the comics, too. Literally, he has bats flying around him that poison people. Obviously, they won't be able to do that on the show. Well, actually, they kind of would, but it wouldn't. As in, if it's Bloodwork's blood, they can have become his zombies or whatever. And Reverse Flash is from the future. The timeline changed. It's Crisis now. Thawne is a spirit, so that would make sense. And if you actually do some digging, Thawne actually killed more than Zoom. Not sure if you knew it, but come on, look it up. Reverse Flash kill count, Zoom kill count, and not only that, but he's even killed more people. Like, for an example, Harrison Wells from Earth X. He was a host. And, well, I don't even want to get into more. But, yeah. So, I actually remember being disappointed that Red Death was not the main villain for Season 6, which, by the way, I'll do a video on that if you request me to. Unless if Season 6 was just a build-up for it all. not only Crisis, but also the first half villain would be the host for Red Death, while the second half villain would only eventually lead to Red Death, especially since this will be a speedster-focused season, and I'm excited for it, but hopefully it will overtop my expectations. Based on how it sounds, it has potential to be the best, but I'm not, well, okay. I'm not gonna do a video about ranting right now. So, I know a lot of you would argue that maybe it's Mirror Mistress. Well, technically, kind of, but in the first 3 episodes, yeah, only that. It's only to make up for season 6, because that's how it was, and all of that other stuff. So, I wouldn't consider her being a main villain for season 7. Well, if you agree with me, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree with me or think any other cool options, I'm curious to find out. Let me know what you think, and let me know what video you want me to do next. And please subscribe and hit that like button.